Going live. When? We don't know. What's up, Profitable Stylist? I think we're live now, finally. We've got or no, I don't have pre-show jitters. This man right here, cousin it, or no, what is that supposed to be nowadays? What are they referred to? Are you Wednesday now? What do they call the Adams family?
Oh my God, I love Wednesday. She, what a perfect actress, huh? I mean,
What
she
a
is
perfect actress.
so good. She, I think Lady Gaga even copied the dance, and she was so honored. I think I
Okay.
just saw a short about it. Anyway, yes, of course I did a little thing about pre-show jitters, nerves yesterday or the day before on Facebook, a Facebook Live on
You know what was the
uh,
best about that?
what
Casper's just
Casper.
chilling. Just chilling in the back seat. Here's you. I'm really nervous. I'm worked up. I don't know what to do.
I
And here's
don't get
Casper
nervous
just,
about
he's
anything.
just like, it'll be fine.
Everything, everything's good. Food, as long as we got food and water, he's
That's the
good.
only reason people watch your Facebook lives is for Casper. You know that, right? Your
You know,
drive.
I got to work one day, and my son Brendan says, "Man, you know, Casper really messed up your video." I said, "You think so? I think most people like the dog more than they like me." And he said, "Oh, you think so? I didn't think you got to get into your topic." I said, "Yeah, I think that people
Yeah.
prefer the dog over any business hair
But what
topic."
do you call it? It's live and drive. Stay
My
alive and
live
drive or
drive.
something. What is it?
I say live drive, stay alive and drive. Yeah, because I'm driving. I should not be looking at the camera, which I don't most of the time. So it's a live drive. It's a lot of meanings because I'm trying to stay alive as I drive, but it's called a live video on Facebook. Like this is a live on YouTube. So I call it my live drive. I should call it my hope to stay alive drive. Hope to stay alive live drive. I mean, there's so many meanings there. But I get nervous about every show. Every time I got to talk in front of people, anytime I do a class, I get nervous. And it depends on how big the responsibility is, will determine how long I'm nervous before. So,
Then I'm confused because you threw all the responsibility of this show on me. So what are you even doing? Why are you nervous for anything?
all,
All, all,
all,
all of it. All
you
of
told
it.
me you weren't even going to be doing anything with onstage extensions in
What are you
Chicago.
talking about? That's all
Or
I'm
maybe
doing.
Darren said that.
Darren was hoping I wasn't going to have to do a lot of stuff, but
Right.
at the end of the day, no, you and I are doing all 3 days. The presentation, we're doing the presentation together.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
oh yeah. I
I
have to do
know.
Saturday's all nutrient, the color presentation. I have to
Oh,
step in and cover that one too.
so you're not
So
doing
it'll
all three
go.
days.
No, no, no. With the hair color presentation, I'm covering Saturday. But for the hair extensions for on stage, you and I got all 3 day with us. You and I, yeah,
You're doing all nutrient and extensions on Saturday,
and
is what
on
you're saying.
stage, yeah, on Saturday all nutrient, and then on stage, and then Sunday and Monday on stage,
So
unless
that's the
something
thing. Next
changes.
thing I need to do is lay out the times for Chicago and Pennsylvania. So you know what I want you to do more of in Pennsylvania is more of what you're doing in Chicago. Like you need to know when we're going to be where. We haven't really talked a lot about that, and make sure we bring the same PowerPoint over.
We have a
So
Pennsylvania show.
yeah, the very next weekend, right? Right, I know. So I got a couple friends over the last couple of months that'll ask. I don't know if it's their go-to questions. What's going on in your life right now? A hair show in April. What? In April, you know? And it's like, well, that's one friend says, what's most exciting in your life right now? Or what's your the thing you're putting the most energy towards? It's like, well, are we talking about business or fun? Because if it's fun, it's possibly my honeybees, because this is the time of year when they start ramping up to make the most honey. You got to
Mm.
start adding boxes on so they don't leave. And I have a lot of fun with that. I mean, I asked RJ the other day, even though they sting me sometimes when I get hurt, why do we still, I think it's guys, like things that hurt us? I mean, we don't just like things that hurt us, but if it hurts us, it doesn't necessarily deter us from liking it, you know? I mean, like fighting,
Well,
sports,
how many times have you and I been together? And you've said to
and
me, smell this. It smells really bad, Eddie. Smell this. And I'm like, Bernard, dude.
How about the scooter? I mean,
oh, the scooter. I didn't want to do it. You got me to do it. I fell and hurt myself. You're like, okay, you're done now. I'm like, no, that freaking felt great. I'm going to do it again.
I got it now.
I have to win. I think that's what it is. It's conquering the pain. You get, especially in guys, we have to conquer everything, right?
I thought you broke your knee, and I'm like, oh, no.
Freaking hurt, and it was bad. I was like messed up for another week or two afterwards. But for the rest of that weekend in particular, man, we went like miles. We went for a couple of miles.
After, I know, on a hurt knee, right? And so with the bees, I got stung, I don't know, somewhere on my ear. Like it hurts just to move my ear a little bit. It's like I thought I could help go put some sugar water on them to get them ramped up for the spring, and without my suit on, and all of a sudden a few of them were not happy. I got stung like on the inside of my finger on both hands, 4 or 5 on my shoulder, a couple on my neck, and most of those stings were good 10 minutes later. But sometimes they hit you in a spot that just hurts for days. And this
now
is
you
like
saying sting? Are you saying bite, or are you saying like with the stinger you have to like rip the stinger off?
Well, bees don't bite. A lot of people say that bee bit me, and they don't bite. They just sting. Yeah. The stinger stays in you. It keeps pumping the venom in if you don't stop it right away and get it off of you. So right away you want to scratch a bee sting really quickly and get that stinger because it stays in you. Keeps pumping venom in, and if it hits a nerve or something, it hurts worse. But getting back to the hair show, I mean, that's all. If I'm not, I do bees so I don't think about the hair show, so I'm not nervous anymore. But as I think about the hair show, I'm doing that live the other day, and one of my stylists that's coming to help, she texts me like right after the live. Thanks, Bernard. Now I'm nervous.
now she's nervous. Okay,
because I said it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ask her this. So I've got. All right. Let me make sure I got this right. So I've got all nutrient hair color. I've got Xenogen hair loss, hair regrowth.
Are you nervous?
I've got keratherapy, keratin smoothing treatment, and keratin depletion. Products, right, or replenishment products. She hair extensions, keratin bonds. On stage, flat beaded strands, flat beaded wefts. The booth, the classroom for all 3 days. You're bringing 27 employees with you to do your part of the booth. And then I've got like
PowerPoint.
So I got 4 PowerPoints from all 4 companies. I got to make.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing the others too.
Yeah, so I got to get the tablet to work for all 4, and then I have to be. Every other company's bringing like 3 or 4 of their own employees, right? Our booth is going to be hopping. We are going to have a lot of action happening at the HCB Beauty. There's
Do we know a booth number?
1001. Yeah, 1001 is the booth number.
Me that. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, and where the booth is located is right at the intersection of the aisle and the getting to the main stage. So we are like right there in heavy intersection traffic, right? Everybody's going to be crashing into each other at that intersection, and we're going to have a crowd around us.
Luckily,
going to be
all I have to worry about is on-stage hair extensions. I'll probably talk about she hair a little bit, the K-tip, keratin tip, but mostly on-stage extensions. But still, to me, I like to do live models. Mannequins are always a backup. We could do that. So I like to do live models, but I'm flying hairdressers in from out of town. So in this world of airplanes, they don't always show up on time or at all. And then people get sick. What are you laughing at? So I'm always
when you said they don't show up at all, and here's me. We're going to have a crash on the news.
Oh, God. Luckily, I don't believe in superstition because, some people would be like, jinx it. Yeah, we're going to all die on the plane. Some people are like tuning out right now. They cannot hear that. We're on a plane, and my little boy, I don't know, he was 8 or 9. He goes, Dad, I was just watching a YouTube video about a plane crash. And I'm shh. Don't say that on the plane. People freak out when you say plane crash on a plane. But
I'll be at the salon. when I was gonna fly to come to visit you, right? Or no, when we were going to North Carolina to do the show together, I go to the owner of the salon. I go, Sabrina, it was nice knowing you. It was nice working with you. If I don't make it back, just know that I love you. And the client cards are in the back in the dispensary. You know? She's like, "What are you doing? It's an hour flight." I'm like, "You don't know. I know. Hate flying. Hate.
Do you see? I don't. That's funny. That's something I don't get nervous at all about. We can be on the plane and it starts going. It could drop a little. And I'm like, oh my god, that felt cool. You know?
Okay.
I mean,
so what is it about that doesn't make you nervous? Like, why don't you get nervous from that?
Because I cannot control it.
So okay. Hair shows.
I'm either going to live or die, and it's not up to me.
So how is that any different? No. This is why I brought that up, because how is that
any different about the hair show?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
But decisions I make I know some things I can't control, but decisions I make can make the experience for the people learning or learning about the onstage extensions better or worse. I know there are things out of my control, and that's the thing. So let me tell you some of the things that I do. It's not debilitating. I think it's just a healthy respect for making sure people get what they're paying for. I feel like this. Let me just go through this whole scenario. The hairdressers across the country are paying to go to a show to learn something, to get an experience. They want to get inspired, interested, maybe learn something new, pick up a new line, do a new extension technique, do extensions for the first time ever. And I feel like I have to deliver on this thing that they want in one of those categories. And so when they get there, if I have no models, no hair, I get sick and they get nothing, well, they'll go somewhere else and that's fine. But some people, like we're telling them right now, come see us. They come to see us. And what if us doesn't show up? What if I get a cold or get sick? What if my hairdressers get sick and don't show up? Now, they're not going to all. So this is where I try to develop contingency plans, backup plans. But there's parts of this that certain people do better than everybody else, and you can't have a backup plan for it. So I've got this one lady who's coming from Florida, Barbara Summerall, who does a whole bunch of beaded strands. Now, there's a lot of people across the country that do some, but most people are in love with the wefts. We don't even do many of the strands in our own salon, but she does so many. She's flying in with a model, and she'll put a full head of beaded strands on this girl and take them out and show people. And that'll be fun. So if she gets sick or don't show up or a plane doesn't come for some reason or whatever, then that's out. Somebody else will have to do it. It won't be as good because I know she's the biggest buyer in the country. So those are the kind of things I get nervous about. Not that it's like I'm going to, go into some deep depression or anything. But for me, it's like she's the best strand experience anybody could get in the country. I hope she shows. And she probably will. And then my top stylist, Shelby, does a lot of wefts, does them good, styles hair really well. And she and one of my other top stylists, Mariah, are going to be in Chicago. And then my son, who is our second biggest, best stylist in the salon with doing lots of extensions, is going to be in Pennsylvania. And so I think if they don't show, then it's got to default to me and you doing wefts. And we don't do as many as Shelby and Brennan do. They do a lot. Every week they're doing sometimes more than one a day. And they're fast. And so, I just know.
Yeah, but Shelby is 3 seconds 3 seconds faster than
at the removal. Maybe not the application. But right. So listen to what I have done is I told each model, hairdresser, to order the hair for their model, and we will ship it to them. Or like Shelby and the stylist in my salon, we're going to give you the hair. Sure, you don't have to pay for it from our office, but I don't want to ship it to you. I don't want to ship it to the hotel, because what if you lose it? What if the hotel loses it? What if I bring it in my bags and my bags get lost? So I got each hairdresser carrying their own model hair and their own tools.
That was the worst idea you ever had.
No, because this way, if a hairdresser doesn't show, if nothing else shows, the hairdresser and their model will be there. And hopefully I'll be there. And we'll have at least the hairdresser, the model, and their hair in each one that shows up. You think that's a bad idea?
RJ
I
just
could
sent
always
me.
ship the hair a second time, or have you also have the hair there.
Our office is literally 30 minutes away from the show. So
That's
if
going to
it's
be
all
another backup
centrally
plan.
sitting in
Dude,
the
I got
office.
contingencies on top of contingencies. That's what I get nervous about. Did I forget? I mean, we did all of this for the American Hair Loss Council. And what did we forget?
Yeah.
What did we forget?
Nothing.
Beads.
Hey, but I brought beads.
I know.
I brought beads.
So we forgot to bring, we're going to take them out and put them in. Take them out and put
Yeah,
them in.
right. I know. Saturday,
you-
by the show started at what, 9, 10 o'clock, and by noon, within 2 hours, we're like, we can't take them out and put them in anymore.
Because we're out of beads. We didn't bring extra beads. Thank goodness we brought a few extra kits. We stole some beads out of the kits, so we just didn't sell the kits. And you're like, well, I brought beads just in case. Thank God Eddie brought some beads. And I don't know how many you brought. But
I bought a lot.
Yeah, good.
Because I get nervous about that kind of stuff too. So Darren and I, we make a list. What do we need to bring? And what do we need to forget? Like we make a list of what did we forget?
I wish I could make a forget. That's funny.
Well, it's always empty because how are you going to know what you forgot? But we always have that list ready to go of, oh crap, we forgot we need this, you know?
Right. And so having the list is a good idea. And then I went an even step further. In this, you notice there's no banners behind me?
Because I have them.
Because you have them. Did you get them already?
Yeah, I got them yesterday.
Yeah, so we shipped everything to you guys. And I said, send the banners. I'm going to do it with a blank slate behind me, you know, and they're going to be at the show. Oh, so aren't you guys getting another or bigger banner for onstage extensions? Is it
so I got a 20-foot banner for the booth, and I got to put that thing together on Monday. It's 80 pounds.
Is it something we can also use in Pennsylvania?
No, because it says "Here's the Bling" on it. Unless you want to represent "Here's the Bling" instead of RJ.
We'll just use a Sharpie.
Yeah, your extensions instead of HTB Beauty, right?
Big black paint. No, we got a smaller booth in Pennsylvania, so we don't really need more. But I do want to get a bigger banner when we start doing the other shows. We just secured the location actually today for the American Hair Loss Council again in September.
Nice.
So that was one of the weaknesses I felt. We had a bigger booth and only 2 smaller banners, so I want to get a bigger banner there. But coming your way, what was I getting ready to say?
Well, you got all the hair.
This is kind of in this studio right here. I set up 2 cameras and I had the 2 stylists. I know there's more stylists. Like we've got Holly Lawson in the Pennsylvania area that does a lot of extensions, and she'll meet us there with her assistant hairdresser and will be her model. Shelby is her name.
And they were on the live with us 2 weeks ago.
Yes. So they'll be there in Pennsylvania, and then Barbara Summerall with her model will be in Chicago. So I do have a couple of stylists flying in or local from other areas. But for both shows, I have 2 stylists at each show from my salon, 2 different stylists. So I had Shelby and Mariah set up in this studio, and then Brennan and Corey set up in this studio, and it was on mannequin heads. And so I said, set up with everything you need. And this was a dry run through. And I talked to an invisible crowd over there and talked about what was going on, putting the hair in fast, taking it out. And we did a bit of a presentation, and I had no idea how long it was going to take to tell what I thought I wanted to tell, how long it was going to take for them to put a weft in, take a weft out, reload the weft, put it back in, because that's the power in this weft that we have not shared enough. And that is coming from the business side. You know, I'm in meetings, and RJ and Jude Grayson are talking about the marketing and what people really want to know, need to know. And I'm, as a creative hairdresser, just talking about doing the hair. And they're like, wait, putting them in, it's fast. But it sounds like the power is really in the taking them out and putting them back in. You don't have to buy new hair, right? And they said, and all these other techniques, you're having to use solutions removal. So there's a lot of shampoo and drying. If you do these, it sounds like some people don't even clean the hair in between. I said, you don't even need to often. It's already clean. They come in, it comes out dry and clean. So it goes right back in. So there's no hour of shampooing and drying hair. And I'm like, wow, this is powerful. Thanks. Thanks, guys, for bringing this up. Yeah. And so RJ says, I think you need to show that in a class more. I don't think we do it. The real magic is later, not the putting them in. Although it's very fast putting them in, it totally beats out hand tied. But if you're going to put little short pieces in, it's probably about the same as putting in a full set of tape in. But when you come back to take tape in out, oh man, what a gooey, sticky mess. Then do you take the old tape off, or do you just layer new tape on? You can't just put the tape on the removal solution you use because it's all oily, so you got to clean it with alcohol. Then you got to put a new piece of tape on. You got to have some you got to use that alcohol. You got to have some organization of where to put it all back in. And then there's oil in the extension hair. Do you shampoo each one of those pieces before you put them back in, or do you just clean the tape strip? We've done it all these ways. Just clean the tape strip, put new tape, put them back in, and then you had to clean the person's hair because it was a greasy mess. But now you got to clean it again because you got oil in a little bit of the tape wefted hair, probably. Or does it just kind of mix in with their hair and you're like, most of their hair is clean enough, they'll get that next time they shampoo? It's a pain. And so with the beaded weft, even if you cut them in little small
pieces, sound like you're having a PTSD moment and you need a teddy bear or something. Bernard needs a hug. Buy Bernard a coffee or something. He needs a hug right now. He's having a moment.
Oh, did you hear this? So I had my my first world problems rant on Facebook this morning. I said, okay, totally unhair related, but most hairdressers, not all because you don't, but most hairdressers drink coffee. So maybe it is hair related. So I go get my coffee and I said, if anybody's going to bring me coffee at any of these hair shows, thank you. I'd like 3 packs of honey and a little almond milk. And I just get the smallest one, because if you go too big, I need a 4th pack of honey, possibly. But
you have the perfect ratio.
Yeah, if it's a tall 3 packs of grandes, 4 packs of honey, I don't want a venti. It's too much coffee at one time because I drink it kind of fast. So listen. Tell me if you think this is common sense or not. I know you don't know the Starbucks language.
I don't, if I get a tall, but okay.
I'd like a tall veranda blonde blend. It's a lighter coffee.
What the hell did you just say?
I know. And
so what's a tall?
Tall is a small.
Do you know? Okay. Do you understand the reference, Miss Swanson?
No.
From Mad TV, like 20, 30 years ago, Mad TV, and in Living Color and all that. All right, I'm gonna send you. Like I said, it's an old clip, but you just reminded me. Now I know. Yeah, tall is a small, vente's big. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a grande in the middle. Grande sounds in the middle, but it's really a medium.
Is a medium. I'm gonna find that clip. Okay, so Miranda
roast is what they call their blonde roast. It's the lightest. But listen, most people already know this, so we're boring.
I'm not a coffee drinker. I have no idea what you're saying.
So listen, I just want to talk. I can see why people don't like dealing with humans anymore. They want to do everything AI or online. Because I literally walk in Starbucks and sit down and order through the app. I don't even go to the counter anymore because, first of all, who knows what you're going to deal with at the counter? And then you got to have your credit card with you. The phone already has my credit card in it. So you order on the app. It remembers what you normally order. So you can just say, yes, order again. And I get the little cheese cracker tray sometimes with the raisins and a few different things in there. And I can just say, yes, order again, yes, this location, done. It'll be ready in a few minutes. So they just put it up and they go, Bernard. And you know what just blows me away? And so far, everybody that's commented this morning agrees. Should you, if you're the barista, you know what a barista is?
Yeah, I know that much.
If you're a barista and you just made me a coffee with 3 packs of honey, would you stir the honey into the coffee or just leave it fall to the bottom?
Just let it all settle to the bottom.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I'm you can't cuss on this freaking YouTube.
No, right, but which?
Because I'm an a-hole. Can I say a-hole? Can I say that?
That's what they all do. Not all. Like
no.
1 in 2
you know what?
Mix it or stir it.
When I go to the bar,
stir it.
When I order freaking mixed drink at the bar, so like I love old fashions.
I gotta finish this, Eddie. Stop.
No, I'm telling you, I agree with you. I'm with you on that one, man.
Mix it.
Yeah, they should freaking mix it. Why does every son of a freaking jerk always leave that crap settled at the bottom?
So there are coffee drinks like macchiatos where you want to keep it separate. You put it in a clear cup, but it's iced, and one's warm, one's cold, maybe, and they'll be brown and white, milk or liquid or whatever. Separatedness for the swirly difference in look, and you sucking it through a straw, but you don't suck a coffee through a straw. So I know this is a first world problem, but I I ended up thinking, all right, I know I'm gonna make this lady mad, but let me just ask her, did you stir it? She goes, oh no. And I said, did are you guys not supposed to? Because some people do. And I said, did you think I wouldn't want it stirred, or is it not right? And she goes, oh, you didn't say. I said, I didn't say. you didn't ask. You didn't ask us to stir it.
I
said,
asked
well, I
for a
ordered
mixed drink, but don't mix it, please. Yeah.
I ordered. She goes, I said, I ordered through the app. She goes, well, you could put in the notes that you'd want us to stir it if you do. So we don't want to stir it if you don't want to. And I still haven't added it to the app because I still am blown away. I just grab that little wooden stick and take the lid off, stir it myself. But I always have to take the first sip just to see if the person that served my coffee had common sense or not. Because to me, I feel like it's freaking common sense. You stir. Maybe, like you said, they're just in a hurry and they don't really care what I think or like. So they just put it in there. It is a pain. The honeys are sticky. It gets on your finger sometimes. So they usually use scissors, cut it off, squeeze it all in. And they're probably like, oh, messy honey on me. Just throw the lid on, give this idiot his coffee. Nobody puts honey in their coffee. So I get it. I know it's a pain. They should do like PJs and have it in a squirt bottle and you squirt it in. It's a lot easier, but they got to do the package. It's more consistent. I do like the consistent measurement, but I just am blown away that they won't stir it. And I know this, I might be going on too long about this, but I'm freaking passionate about stir my freaking coffee.
So let me tell you this way.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't get nervous about talking about this kind of stuff. See?
My heart rate is up a little bit.
Your heart rate is up, but you ain't nervous about talking about it. See, that's the difference, right? I learned this a long time ago. So I've worked for a lot of different companies. I've worked with, I don't know if I should say the brands or not. You know, I've worked.
You don't need to say, I'm just go.
All right. So I've worked with a lot of different brands, and in all the presentation classes and public speaking things that we've learned, this is what I've discovered. It's the rule of thirds in a crowd when you're presenting to an audience. As long as you and yourself believe that so nervous and scared are two separate things, and there's the rule of thirds. If you believe that you have a command over your presentation, you truly put in your effort and all your heart into your presentation, and you believe in what you're saying, you're not just saying some BS stuff, right? It's going to come across. People are going to feel that energy. No matter what you do, a third of the audience is just going to hate every single thing you're saying because they're so invested in what they do. That's the only thing they know, and that's it. And they have to protect that at all costs. Why they're in your program, I don't know, but they show up. There's a third of the audience. It doesn't matter what you say. They absolutely love you, and they love they're eating up every single word you're saying.
What's the other third?
It's the middle third. The middle third is what matters the most because they're on the fence. They came in with no expectations or very little expectation. They're very open-minded. They're willing to listen to everything you got, and they're willing to see everything you're about to present. If you do a good presentation, they're on your side. Now you've captured 2/3 of the audience in a good way. Now you got a good show. If you do a bad presentation, now you lost that middle third. Now they're hanging out with the people that don't like you. Now you've got a bad show. People are complaining and walking out and doing all that stuff.
So I don't get nervous at all about, maybe a tiny bit about the presentation because I really love the product. I know it really well. I'm super passionate about it. If I get more nervous about it all coming together properly, like will everybody show up? Will the models show? I'm not doing the hair. Other people are. Hopefully they do a good job that I'm talking about. And so as it gets presented, I'm good. Like the mock presentation we did in this room right here, it went really well. And my stylist, I was a little frustrated that morning. A couple of them showed up late. We got started late. And so I was getting mad. I was like, we needed this whole hour to practice. It's an hour presentation on stage or in a classroom. So I want to make sure I can fit it all in an hour. So we get started 10 minutes late, and we still finish everything by like, I don't know, like 9:30. And I was like, oh God, I just said everything I need to say, super passionate, all the meat of the subject. They put an extension weft in and the tape in tight, took them out, put them back in, and everything was like 22 minutes, I think. And I was like, yes. So first of all, everything that we practiced, make sure we pack all of that. This is the stuff we need to make this happen again.
Nobody leave this room. Put everything in a box right now.
Right. Even like this silver tray, this laptop's on top of. So, right. So that was one of my contingency plans. Let's practice it and then bring everything that we use, because the only thing we had mannequin heads. So bring those also. But if we didn't ship them, maybe you need to bring a couple. But models, we'll have models, or we'll grab freaking girls out of the crowd or guys out of the crowd if we have to. But that was powerful to me, because I realized like the really important new stuff about this newer technique can all be covered in 20 minutes. Great. So I've got a little more time that I can add to the front as a little bit of an intro, who I am, why I should even be talking to you, who these people are. And I can add some more fun, opinionated stuff about how we compare to other companies. And I have plenty of time. But that was something I didn't know until I did it, and I did the run through, and it worked. I got the words, the knowledge, the passion. Once I'm there, I'm not a whole lot nervous. I'll get it all out, but it's just that it'll all actually, I can't control if I get sick. I did a hair show one time for Carrie in, is it Kansas? And me and William Watley were there doing a show for her. And it was probably the most sick I'd ever been in my life. I get there, I'm coughing, I'm sneezing, my head hurts so bad. It's the worst flu cold I ever had. This is before COVID. Nobody's thinking about, are you spreading germs? No, they're just thinking, please show up, Bernard. Do what you are paid for, asked to do. We don't care how many people are around you getting sick later. Make a good show right now, And I'm thinking the same thing. I will perform. I'm taking all kind of NyQuil, Dayquil, Delsum, all these liquid drugs, and I would come out, do the show for a few hours, do somebody's extensions, all she hair, keratin buns, and then go, Carrie, I can't go out and eat with you guys. I can't go out and do anything after. I'm dead. Go straight back to the room at 3, 4, 5 o'clock, whatever it was. Do my time on stage. I might even leave a few minutes early. See y'all. And it was a 2-day show. I'll do more tomorrow. I think maybe it was a 1-day show. I don't know, but I went straight back to the room. She thanked me for making it happen. So I feel like that was the sickest I ever was in my life, and I made it happen. So I probably would do the same thing again if I had to. I don't want to do it like that, though. I'm sure I would have performed better if I wasn't like 3/4 dead and trying to do it. Who knows what I was saying, all hopped up on cold medicine.
So it's funny. This behind the scenes stuff is really funny, because this is the stuff that we deal with all the time, right? Anytime there's a class coming up, like I did a 20 foil, hands-on highlighting class last Monday. And leading up to that class, I'm like, okay, the mannequin heads, the foils, the lightener, the this, the that, the presentation.
That's why you didn't answer the phone Monday, huh?
Right. So I was knee deep in it. So it's just leading up to the show. You're like you're saying, you become like a nervous wreck. Your stomach's in a knot. Like, what did I got to get this done. The day of the class, everybody shows up. They walk in, la la la, hey, good morning, but they have no idea 10 minutes before you're pacing in a circle and you're like, ah,
because you want to perform well.
The class starts. Ask me what I said in the 3-hour program. I could not repeat to you right now one word that I said during those 3 hours. All I could tell you is at the end of those 3 hours, I'm sitting, I'm like, and Darren comes in and says, that was great. That was fantastic. Everybody loved it. People have questions. People want to buy stuff. People this, people that. I'm like, go away.
because you give your all mentally, physically, and it's not like you're digging a ditch and sweating really hard or anything, or even like working out.
No, it's
But
all mental,
mentally,
man.
you give as much as you can. You're happy, you're attentive, you want to answer all the questions, and it. I just remember driving home or to the airport after classes, and still till this day, no smile. It's like I'm hurting from being happy the whole time. And so I don't know what it looks like from the side, but this is how I drive home. No music, no sound. I'm just like, I try to have no expression. All my face muscles are just like, oh, that feels so good to do nothing.
So now you'll know if you ever get Botox. Now you'll know what to expect.
In the wrong places. Right. So I know during a class one time for hair replacement, I was like, so wrinkle up your forehead and we can see where the hairline used to be. And they're like, they just can't. I'm like, I'm sorry, you just had Botox. And they're like, yeah. I said, never mind, we'll do this another way. Yeah, it's fine. I get it. We all want to look younger.
No, it's really wild.
I should get a little Botox in here. That's where I'm starting to show the wrinkles. I said, I'm good. I don't think I'm going to do it.
Nah, just have the beast keep stinging you, and then it'll just pull everything. It'll plump everything up.
Yeah, don't my ears look better?
Yeah, right. No, like I was with Gina yesterday, and from Therapy, and we were prepping the mannequin heads because she's going to be doing keratin replenishment, and she's going to be teaching a program on keratin depletion. So I was with Gina yesterday, and she was kind of saying the same thing too. I'm really nervous. I want to make sure everything is right and everything is ready to go. And here's me, just like I'm saying to you. I said the same thing to Gina yesterday. I'm like, what are you getting nervous for? Like, it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to kick butt. It's going to be awesome. I said, at the end of the day, only we know what bar we are setting for ourselves.
That's true.
Nobody coming in is going to have an expectation of what is going to be being presented. They haven't seen it before. They don't know. And the few people that might be in there that have been to a prior presentation already know us as it is. So they're coming back in a positive kind of way because they want to see you again, right? It's like going to a concert of your favorite band. You've heard their album 20,000 times, but you want to go see them live because it's cool. It's fun, Now, I say that to her. She leaves. I'm sitting with Darren. Darren's pacing, as you know. Darren paces, 15 miles a second. And he's like, oh, we need this. I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So everyone's like, man, you never get nervous. I'm like, nah, it's fine. It's all good. I come home.
You do. You hide it a little more.
Until I get home or until I get back to the hotel room. And Carmelina looks at me and she goes, hi, babes. I'm like, oh!
Yeah, my wife, it's taken her a few years, but she's like, a few days before, I'm not eating much, not sleeping much, and I'm a little short as far as like talking to people.
Patience and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and so she's like, I know you're nervous about the show coming up. And I'm like, I'm not nervous. Quit saying that. Leave me alone. Quit saying I'm nervous.
Right.
But obviously, that's what's going on. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm getting a little worked up. It's a perfect before the show diet. Lose a few pounds.
So then what do you do? How do you handle it? Like, do you have, because I have a couple of rituals that I do that works for me. Do you do anything like that? I do want to
hear them, but I don't so much. I do. That's a good question. I think it's a good thing, first of all. I consider it a healthy respect because I think of it, like you said earlier, about the fear and the nerves. There's been studies that show that the body is reacting the exact same way, fear and nervous. It's the same raised heart rate, the same chemicals in your body that are saying, be careful or whatever it is. And so you can say, oh, I'm scared or I'm nervous or I'm fearful, but the respect for what's getting ready to go on, excitement is the same as nervous. It's all, Casper, lay down. Lay down. It's all the same thing. Casper was visiting Brittany, and she just returned him, and he wants to go with her. You stay right there, boy. So it's all the same physical stuff going on. So to me, I think of it like that. Like, yeah, I know I feel nervous, but really it's the same as excitement, and it means I care. it means I want good things to happen. So first, I don't mind the nerves. That's fine. I use it to fuel me, give me more energy to move forward. So the few things I do, that's a great question, is I go to my notes, and I know that sometimes fear or nerves can cloud judgment. So as I'm thinking and I come up with these ideas or what I need to do, I start making a list. And you'll probably see me pull my phone out. And thank God for this day and time, you can have your phone in
You
presentations.
love
People
your
don't
notes.
text about it. Yeah, it's my notes. So it's notes. It's the things like, oh, don't forget beads. So I've got a list of what to bring or what not to forget or what to forget. And then I've got a list of presentation. Make sure you touch on these topics, and I've got those. So as I get nervous or I'm not sleeping one morning or one evening and I think, oh God, I hope this doesn't happen, I try to figure out how to make it not happen, come up with a contingency plan, and then write it down. So that's first. And then before I actually go on stage or talk in front of the crowd, I I don't know if you'll ever notice I disappear. I'll
Oh,
disappear.
oh, I never noticed that I can't find you 10 freaking minutes before we got to go live. Yeah, no, I never noticed that one. Oh, no.
I ha- I have to
I'm going
have
to put
some
a bell
time.
on you, is what I'm going to do.
I have to have some time away and just I don't know if it's mentally prepare or what, but I let the last second. I'll go off and sit in a corner somewhere in a chair, maybe in a bathroom stall if it's too crowded, but usually it's just around a corner somewhere in a chair in a hotel lobby. And I'm looking at my notes and thinking, I already went and looked, scoped out the area I'm going to, so I know where I'm walking in, where I'm going to be standing. I usually try to go and stand on the stage or the platform and look at all the chairs and get an idea of like, okay, it's long and skinny, or it's short and wide. So I need to pan the room like this a little bit more, or I need to do this. Am I going to be walking down the aisles or staying on the stage? So I'll do all that as early as possible. If I fly in and there's an opportunity to do that a day or two early, I'll go try to do it. If I'm at a hotel room and I'm going to be doing it in the morning, I'll try to get a key to the room to go see it, so I can be mentally thinking about my positioning in the room. And then just before, and I'll try to set up the night before. I don't want to set up right before necessarily. And then at the last second, I've disappeared for a little bit to just kind of mentally prepare, go over my notes. How am I going to say hi to everybody those first few seconds to get started before I start making sure I hit the points in my notes? So those are the few little ritualistic type of things I do. What do you do?
I do the show about 100 times before we actually do the show.
Wow.
So
That's impressive.
I do. I get very compulsive. I get very extremely compulsive about it. So I set up, like for this show coming up, I literally went in our warehouse and I duct taped 30 feet by 30 feet and created a little square. I created our little subsections inside of it. You know, I created inside my basement at home. I made a little area where we would have our classroom basically, and it's looking out the rest of the basement. Like that's where the audience would be. So, and then I do mundane tasks and I do the presentation. I run the presentation while doing mundane tasks. So what does that mean? When I'm in the shower, I'm doing the presentation. When I'm driving, instead of listening on the radio or to a music or something, I'm doing the presentation, right? When I'm on the
Right.
treadmill or I'm doing a run, I'm doing the presentation. So when I'm sleeping, I'm doing the presentation, you know? And then what I'll do, and then I'll sit in front of the computer and I'll do like, I'll watch a movie or I'll watch, I don't know, I'll do a task where I'll be editing the video, thinking about the show. That's why I couldn't get the editing done on the hair replacement, because all I was thinking about was doing the hair replacement, you know? But then I run the, how you call it? The like the pretend practice run. I can't think of the word off the top of my head. But I'll run the scenario in my mind. And then after I've run the scenario, I will spend approximately an hour, just about an hour, listening to just heavy metal. just like death metal, speed metal, heavy metal, symphonic. I don't care what type of metal it is, but
That's
that
funny.
hardcore music, right? And just drown out all noise, drown out all
When is
sound.
this?
Immediately after I'm done running the scenario in my mind, I'll listen to music, loud, fast, hard. I can't even think. I can't even hear my own thoughts. It just white
Interesting.
noise drowns everything. And I know I say white noise. To me, that's white noise. I love heavy metal. That's
To
my
me, that
music,
would
right?
be torture, but yeah, I hear you. I know.
Whatever. So then, whatever your equivalent of white noise is, it's a meditation. Basically, I'm resetting. I'm doing a meditation. I'm resetting, and then as soon as I'm done, then I ease back into the world, the
Mine
life.
would be George Michael's "Careless Whisper."
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I thought you were gonna laugh at me. I like '80s
Hey,
love songs.
you know what, man? If it's something I've learned over the years, it is what it is. It's
Right.
in my younger days, I was like, oh, George Michael's, that's it. But you know
Love
what?
that dude. He's so good.
If it wasn't
Was
for him, and if it wasn't for the music that he made, and if it wasn't for what he created, who knows what we would have had these days, right? Inspiration comes from everywhere, and I've
Yeah.
definitely learned to appreciate everything, and like everything has its place.
Yep.
No, so what? Yeah, man, George
Especially
Michael's, it's
Prince and
cool.
Michael Jackson.
Hey, man, it wasn't my music growing up listening to, but
It was
now
mine.
you freaking play Beat It or Smooth Criminal or something, right? Like, I wouldn't have the inside joke I have with my sister because there's a band called Alien Ant Farm that remade Smooth Criminal into like a rock version.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
So I
And
wouldn't
you'll
have
listen
the
to the
inside
rock
joke with my
version, right?
sister, that I have if it wasn't for Michael Jackson making Smooth Criminal, right? So it's these experiences and you build up the culmination. Oh, simulation, that's the word I was thinking of. I run the simulation in my mind. I keep saying scenario. But yeah, it's all these experiences that once you get it inside of you, once you get it under your belt, you feel like you have more command, you have more authority over your what you're doing. I understand what you're saying, I guess scientifically or emotionally or however you want to call it, about the fear and nervousness, releasing the same stuff in your brain or in your body. But I look at fear and nervousness as two separate entities. And I don't know if you feel about it this way or not, but to me, fear is like crippling. It just prevents you from moving forward, whereas nervousness kind of heightens your senses because you're more aware of what's happening. Like your body is saying danger, danger, alert, or there's a fire alarm going off or something. And to me, being in that nervous state is kind of empowering in such a way because as long as you don't let it cripple you into fear, then it puts in your fighting response of like, okay, now we got to put the fire out. Now we got to go to town. We got to get to work.
Yeah. Makes you
And
act
like,
faster.
yeah, release the troops, and attack. It's like we were saying earlier. When you get hurt, you're like, ow, let me touch it again. Let me see if I can last an extra second. Ow, that hurt. Oh, but I made it for 2 extra seconds this time. Let me see if I can go for 3.
At a restaurant, they put the plate down and they say, "Hot plate, don't touch it."
I love touching it. I
I
love
have to
touching.
touch it. My wife
I
says, "Are
need
you
to know.
stupid?"
Yes.
My wife says, "Are you stupid?" I'm like, he was touching it and he put it down. Is he more of a man than me? I mean, he was touching the plate. He had it with a napkin and he grabs it with his bare hand. He puts it down. He says, "Hot plate." And I'm like, well, it wasn't too hot for you, buddy. It surely is not too hot for me. And I always think it either needs to be closer, further away, or turned. So I touch the freaking plate. And even if it burns me, I don't tell anybody.
That's right.
I'm
That's
like,
right.
oh, yeah, that was a hot one.
Registered. Next time I need to lick my fingers a little bit first or something.
Most of the time, it's not that hot. That's so I don't know. Maybe I'm testing people if they're lying or not. Like, you liar. It's not a hot. It's a warm, tepid. It's a tepid plate. But you're right. I don't know what it is. You never see a girl grab I don't know. You girls out there, tell us in the comments. Do you touch that hot plate
No,
too?
because girls are smarter.
I know.
They
I think we
have
need
more
to end
common
it.
sense.
I got more meetings and it's getting close to an hour. I think we've covered everything. It was kind of interesting.
Oh,
It's something
wow.
I
Okay.
know about you. I didn't know some of that stuff about you. I just want to say, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay?
It's the inside joke with my sister, because her name is Ani.
That's funny. I
All
think
right,
Michael
guys.
sang that for her.
Um,
Are
let's
you
do this. Yeah,
okay?
just like Bernard was saying, hit us up in the comment section. Let us know, what do you guys do to conquer your nervousness? Do you have
What's
any
your,
white noise? Do you have any rituals? You know, do you
and
have
what's your
anything you do?
favorite song?
What is your favorite song? Yeah, does anybody have, do you have a favorite song?
Purple Rain by Prince.
Good song. Good
All
song.
time favorite song. The passion, the words. I like a lot of songs, but Prince, Purple Rain.
You're going to laugh at
What is
me.
your favorite song?
You ready for
I
this?
know we never did even talk about this. This is that beaded weft we'll be talking about at the show. You can go ahead and end this thing so that
All
people
right.
can see this right at the end of the video.
Oh, my song, Nymphetamine from Cradle of Filth.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I know. Talk to you guys next week, man. Catch you later.